Aloha, friends and neighbors. Raleigh Frost here, Kona astrologer, scratching out a living on the Kona coast. Ever had your chart done? Good time to think about it. I'm not going to be here forever. We're going to do program 1138, 1,138 weeks I've served you. And we're going to cover the last week in September 2018. And let's see, you had a prior new moon at 17 Virgo. That new moon trined Pluto and calmed down the volcano, but it opposed Neptune. And we're having trouble with priests, artists, doctors, drugs, water. But Pluto is empowered right now for you. Do your investigations. The prior full moon was at 160, call it 2 degrees of Aries, which squares Saturn and says you're not happy with those politicians and businessmen and guys in suits. You're not going to wait. No, you're not going to wait for authority. That's who Saturn is. Authority just gets in your way. But that full moon sextiled Mars. Get out there and do it yourself. Yes, that's what it's about. Do it yourself. And what I had a list here of things to do yourself. Emergency prep. You know, when Pluto stops on October 1st, you think emergency for the hurricane coming October, November. Large garbage bags cover up your electronics. This is not a drill. Yes. Some batteries with lights. I like the lantern batteries. And or you get kerosene, but not many people know how to use kerosene lamps anymore. And shut off your refrigerator when the wind is blowing. Get salty air out of, you don't want it circulating in your fridge. Alert, alert. Pluto stops and goes stationary direct on October 1st, which means Pluto is going to be very, very strong in your consciousness. It just so happens that on Monday night, October 2nd, the moon opposes Pluto. And everybody's going to say, eek, a bug! It sets off your reptile brain and either flight or fight. And, you know, Pluto is like Sherlock Holmes. He's investigating, but he also, you know, he's like a crocodile or a shark. There's going to be a lot of stuff you're not going to like. There could be volcanic stuff and sharks and guns and nukes and a lot of things that you just find that yourself will go into slight little panic attacks from your reptile brain during this period, and especially on Monday night, October 2nd. Put it on your calendar. You know, and don't worry, Pluto's your friend. He's just acting up a little bit right now, see? That's how I drew him. Because he had a good new moon trine him. You know, I don't think he's really vicious. The Mayans said crocodiles were one of the best animals around. They take care of their young, the great mothers. They liked them. But who knows how you'll take Pluto stationing. You hit your chart wrong, you know, what do you get? Eek! Panic. So here's another panic point. This is an early one. You'll have one when the moon goes by Pluto, which, let's see, let's get perspective. We need a wider perspective here. Okay, there's the whole chart. The sun's going through the first part of Libra. It squares Saturn in about 3 or 4 days, and you'll find yourself kind of depressed and stuck with laws and regulations and lines and signs. And what, they're going to put another stop signal in? Oh. Anyway, I'll get over it. Jupiter is still here, sextile Pluto. And this is good news, because Jupiter brings the good news. Aha, now I see it clear. And Pluto brings discovery. So you got Sherlock Holmes working with, you know, the great lawyers. And both of them are sextile and trine Neptune. There's going to be a lot of truth come out about drugs and doctors, drug companies, pollutions from hydrocarbons. It's already started with the church and all their, you know, abuse of little kids. A lot of truth is going to come out. So you're in a period of truth and wisdom and discovery that's nice. If you can ignore the feeling of being trapped in by Saturn. The trick is when you leave your house. If you leave your house at a time when you get a bad Saturn, you'll hit every stop signal. If you wait until Saturn trines or sextiles and then leave your house, as you get to the stop signal, it'll open right up and you cruise right through. Anyway, we still got Uranus over here, squaring Mars. Mars is still acting up. Yeah, it's still hot suddenly. It'll get better later on. We're going to run the moon around the edge of this planetary pattern. And as we do, it makes angles to these various actors on the stage. And that's the mood of the times. Okay, so here we go. Let's see what the next 10 days has in store for you. And I want to actually start a little early. Because see, here's Friday's that long. Thursday is about here. So Wednesday night, Wednesday the, what's that, 20th, 19th Wednesday, the moon goes by Mars, squares Uranus, squares Venus. Oh, Venus is squaring Mars. Keep your daughter home. Romantic, sexy worries, problems. Mars is acting up. He's not his normal self. You know, he's just not his normal hero self. So you got to watch these young guys with too much testosterone, like they're the ones that start the fires. So you can see a lot of that Wednesday and Wednesday afternoon and evening. And here's the square to Venus too. Late Wednesday night, early Thursday morning, the 20th. Not good for romance and sexiness, no. You'll feel it, you'll want it, but it'll backfire on you like, you know, lighting a match and burning your fingers. Okay, there's a moon in Aquarius. Still in Aquarius Thursday. As you go to Friday, the moon's still in Aquarius. And here's a square to Jupiter, tendency to be too loud, too much going on. Other than that, it's if you can forget what happened Wednesday, Friday's okay. Saturday, the moon shifts into Pisces, and you get a whole different vibe. It's much better, huh? Here's a nice sextile to Uranus. Astrology works. Science is good. Common sense prevails. The media, the internet tells the truth. And a sextile to Saturn. Now this is an opportunity for some of the Saturn politicians to be converted over to good scientific study. Let's hope so. So Saturday morning's a pretty good day. Get organized early. The technical stuff will work for you. Have a good Saturday on the 22nd. As you go later into the day, you're coming into the Neptune land. It's actually Sunday morning, the 23rd. Good time to go to church. Go talk to Jesus. Yeah. And remember that King James took he censored the Bible when Jesus said, pray to Father like this, my Father who art in heaven. It's when you see heavens in the Bible, King James, it used to be sky in Aramaic. King James changed it into heaven. So when you make that prayer, you say, my Father who art in the sky, and you'll understand what Jesus meant more. Anyway, wonderful religious, spiritual Sunday morning. Save it for your spiritual development. It's a great time. And there'll be discovery in the middle of the day. Here's a sextile to Pluto. Sherlock Holmes is out and says, yes, here's new stuff. And then here's the trine to Jupiter. And Jupiter says, aha, now I see it clear. This is a wonderful day, Sunday. Wonderful day. Continues through Monday morning while the moon's still in Pisces. You'll still be feeling it until the middle of the day. But once the moon shifts into Aries, right here, look out. SHIT starts to hit the fan. Because here's the new moon. It's a full moon at 2 degrees, and it squares Saturn. We all feel stuck. They're making laws we don't want. Yeah, you have to do it yourself. That's the key. You'll be stuck all day. All the stoplights will turn red when you get there Monday afternoon. Won't be until the evening, till after dinner, the sextile to Mars happens, you say, they tied me up in so many ways, I'll have to do it myself. That's the answer, my friends. Do it yourself. Tuesday, the moon's still in Aries. You're still under the bad, it's a pretty poor full moon, you know, squaring Saturn. So you got a little depressed, huh? Yeah. Lilly, the great herbalist of England, said, for depression and lack of appetite, use herb. Use, never mind. Drink a lot of water. It's going to be a depressive month, but it's a do-it-yourself month following this lunation. So it'll drag on through Tuesday. And when you get to here Tuesday night, this is late. Remember, each one of these little lines is 2 hours. And it starts at 2 a.m. So here we got midnight, 11 o'clock midnight on Tuesday the 25th, and the moon squares Pluto. And you remember, Pluto's going to stop in 4 to 5 days, so here's a panic place. Eek, a bug. Little panicky things are going to happen. I'm all right, you know, centipede. Oh boy, I hate those buggers. And they're fast, they're hard to kill. You know, the Chinese say, if you see a big old centipede and you can't kill it, your legal problems will get out of hand. And, you know, yeah, so when you see one, you got to get him. Otherwise, you're facing legal problems that will be too much almost. So, Tuesday night, get that centipede. Wednesday, you're still feeling a little panicky as you go through the 26th. Till you get late Wednesday, the moon shifts into Taurus, and you got a whole different feeling. Now we got the enlightenment. The science comes on. Here, that's really 2 o'clock in the morning. The moon hits Uranus. You might wake up kind of suddenly Thursday morning with the moon in early Taurus and say, wow, a new idea. I'm gonna do it myself. Common sense will prevail. And here, about breakfast, the moon trines Saturn. And you'd say, yes, this is possible. I got time, I got money, I got a budget, I can do this all. Yes, you can. It's a nice time. Don't jump at it too fast, because on Thursday morning after breakfast, here's a crummy square to Mars. It's too hot, you know. So, and here's Thursday afternoon, here's the opposition to Venus. Looks like Romeo and Juliet are going to fight it out on Thursday the 27th. Stay out of the way. Keep your daughter home Thursday. And don't, you guys know that green tea they sell you in the store, little label says, with ginseng. Well, ginseng is famous for making you sexy. And so you don't want to really give ginseng to young men. They're already got too much testosterone going, running around lusting after the girls. So you give them ginseng and it gets worse. So this is not a good time for that. Calm the young guy down. Put him to work. Get him to do some physical work. He won't harass the girls so much on Thursday. Neptune comes in, the priest artist doctor, late Thursday night, and Jesus will answer when you pray to him. Father in the sky, remember? Ha 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 ha. Moon's in Taurus. On Friday the 28th, starts with discovery about breakfast time. The moon trines Pluto. Now Pluto's getting very active. Remember, he's going to stop right up here, just up ahead, on Monday, Tuesday, the first days of October. So when you get a nice trine to Pluto, Sherlock Holmes is working for you. Discovery. Keep it to yourself, though, because here's an opposition to Jupiter about lunchtime, and the lawyers and professors say, oh, no, that's not true. Where's your evidence? They're going to get in your way a little bit, overdoing it. That's okay. Once you discover something, you can't go back on it. Once you see it clear, you can't see it any other way. That's the nice thing about Pluto. So Friday, you still got it all the way through Friday. Saturday morning, here the moon shifts into Gemini, and it's an active Saturday. After lunch, we got a nice trine to Mars. Do it yourself. Get your hands dirty. Do the work. You got a plan. The plan comes up Saturday afternoon. And it'll work. It's a good time to go out and do some preventative work or maintenance work or help somebody, be a soldier for good. Now about midnight, well, this is actually 2 in the morning, Sunday morning, on the 30th, we've got a square to Neptune. This is not so hot for religion, art, music, spirituality, you know. It's awful early. By the time you go to church, if you go, here is a nice trine to Mercury. Good for talk. Yeah, good for words, good for talk, Sunday morning, the 30th. And then as you go ahead a little more up here, see there's Monday, and Tuesday night, there's when Pluto stops. Eek a bug on the 2nd. You gotta watch that Pluto a little bit. Monday night the 2nd. You'll see, you can't avoid it. Even if it's a tiny, tiny little bug, you'll find yourself in a little panic over it all. It's very strange.